At a high level, what's really important when you're thinking about your monthly close process is to take what I recommend to CFOs, accountants, is to take a step back from the accounting, to step away from the spreadsheets, get out of the accounting system and walk the beat, get out into the business and understand the business. Each business or business model has its own type of complexity. So in my experience, I've been the head of finance several times over at this point. The last 6 years has been in SaaS, but prior to that, I had experience in oil and gas, cable television. I even did a stint at one point at a nonprofit institute in Washington, D.C. And each type of business has its own complexity. So when I was in the oil and gas industry, that complexity was almost entirely around expenditures. We had one or two clients, which were large multinational oil and gas companies. You send them one invoice at the end of the month. So there was no complexity around revenue. However, there was complexity around fixed assets, tons of expendable materials. You had headcount. You had people moving it in and out of oil drilling sites. So there was a lot of complexity around expenditures and fixed assets. And so as I was building out my monthly close process there, the focus was entirely on getting a handhold around those workflows. I really enjoy SaaS. I've been doing SaaS for 6 years now. SaaS is a complete opposite of the oil and gas industry. There's almost no complexity around expenditures. Your average SaaS company, 70 to 80% of their expenditures are purely headcount. The remaining 20% is your office, some software subscriptions, and other type of G&A expenditures. Where the real complexity in SaaS is on the revenue side. You have subscription billings. So you need to calculate both your GAAP revenue and your non-GAAP metrics. You need to make sure that everything ties out between your CRM. Your contracts are living in Salesforce. You have payments coming in via Stripe. You have your general ledger to think about. So there's a ton of complexity in SaaS around revenue. And so that's the biggest piece of advice that I would give to a person. First and foremost is identify where the complexity of the business is and then begin from there.